Hello everybody, it's Lucas Mackintosh here and I'm back with some more Grand Theft Auto 3 for the PlayStation 2. Once again, this is pre-recorded gameplay and I'm doing the commentary over it. In this final set of videos I will be finishing the game. I will be doing two missions, surface to air missile, in which I need to go to the airport for Asuka, shoot down a plane, get the drugs and take them back to her, and also doing the final mission called the exchange, in which I have to pay Catalina $500,000 in order to get Maria back. However, in true GTA style, things don't always go according to plan. I also used the tank cheat in the final mission because I think the mission's just a little bit too unfair. After the mission briefing, all my weapons that I've earned are gone. I get a measly handgun and I've got 7 minutes to try and get into the cartel base, try and infiltrate the base, take out the cartel. It's impossible, well, for me anyway. I just couldn't do it. I tried, guys. I tried my hardest. I did everything I could, but I just get shot to ribbons. So I just did the most logical thing. I spawned a tank, went in, shot the hell out of them all and rescued Maria that way. I think it makes for an entertaining video, to be honest. So yeah, I don't normally cheat in a video game. I always try and do everything legitimately. I mean, I'm from the school of thought that in a video game it should be fair challenge. I mean, when you've earned those weapons, those are yours. Why should the game take them away? You know, there was no reason to. I mean, the exchange mission's hard enough. You know, it would have been more enjoyable had they just let me keep my weapons. I could have easily got through. I mean, there are weapons scattered about the city that I suppose you could go to, but I can never find enough in time and get back to the base. And to be honest, the one weapon I needed most they wouldn't give me was the sniper rifle. That would have been invaluable. I think there's like one dotted about somewhere or near the cartel base, but I could never find it. I would just end up getting shot. I would never have the firepower to take them out, so that's why I decided to kind of get the tank. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I'll get the tank and I'll finish the game, and you know, but that wasn't, you know, I did everything I could not to use the tank. I even went to the trouble of getting a really massive truck. I thought I'll use this and I'll ram the cartel and run them over. The problem with that was after I'd been to pay the ransom, the truck had disappeared. So no matter what I did, it just seemed like the game kind of had an answer for it, and so I was kind of at a loss. So yeah, as I said, you need 500,000 to pay Catalina. Now I've already done that, so this is kind of just an edited kind of collection of highlights, I suppose. I've technically already done that. I've already earned the money. It took me a while to do it. I've paid Catalina, so when you see me go to the mission brief, then that's why. It's because I've already done those loads and loads of taxi missions. It took me hours to earn the money to pay her. I even overcompensated. I did at one point. I earned about 600,000. I worked really hard, but for the game to take my money and not let me keep my weapons, I just had a real issue with. You know, morally, I get that it's a video game and video games are supposed to be challenging. I have no problem with that. I love challenging a video game, but as I said, I prefer like the game giving you resources, and once you've earned those resources, those are yours. It's a bit like playing Metroid, right? And you've got all the stuff, right? Now I get that at the beginning of the game, I think I've never really played many Metroid games, but I know that in some of them you start off like the first, I don't know, minute or two of the game with all the powers and all the special abilities, and then they're taken away and you've got to earn them again. Well, in this game, to have earned all your weapons and then for him to take them away right when you needed them, that's the thing I take issue with, and that's kind of why I decided to take the tank, do that option. I thought, I'm not, you know, everything I tried to do, the game would have an answer for. It would not let me get any advantage. I even tried like causing a police riot and stuff and trying to get a tank that way, but having tried the truck and having it been taken away, I should presume the tank would have been taken away too. So it's like I just couldn't win really. So I think it looks cool though. I was able to blow the cartel away, and I still had fun with this game though, but as I said, that's kind of why I decided to use the tank. It's just, I just take issue with the way this mission is. it's terrible. Now, not this mission, Sam, but the exchange, when I go to that one. So this mission took me hours to figure out how to do it, but I figured that out eventually, and I'll show you how to do it in just a minute.
Do we tighten it some more now, or just wait for it to turn black and fall off?
Give it a quick prod.
Oh, what is that gooey yellow stuff? Oh, hey, Pave!
My handyman.
I was bored, so I came over to keep Asuka company.
She's got the makings of a natural, this girl. She's managed to extract this little gem from our guest. There's a plane coming into Francis International in 2 hours' time. It is full of Catalina's poison. You can avoid airport security by getting a boat out to the runway light buoys and shooting the plane down on its approach. Collect the cargo from the debris and stash it.
Oh, you be careful now, okay, baby?
Now try the chili oil.
Now, this mission, you don't have to use a boat, and I would advise not using a boat. The boats are slow and cumbersome, and you don't have enough time. Also, you've got to be like right on point in the water, and like, so the logical thing to do, guys, is to go to the airport, and that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to the airport, and we're going to shoot the plane from the actual runway. I think maybe the game says you're supposed to get a boat, and I think maybe they suggest you use a boat and get out and get to the airport that way by boat, but you can do it by car, so I've no idea why. I'm getting confused. I think maybe it wants you to shoot the plane out from the boat, but that would be awkward. I mean, like, you've got to be like so accurate, so I figured I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the airport. I'm going to do it right at the airport on the runway. I did try getting a boat, but I wasn't sure where I was supposed to be. Even though the marker was there, I just couldn't work it out. I tried my hardest to try and work out where the plane was, but it just wasn't happening. So I thought, well, I'll go to the airport and just try and figure this out. And what I discovered was you can literally shoot it from the runway, and it's much easier. Now, the hardest thing though is just getting away from the police, but to be honest, in theory, it's not really that far from the I mean, it is far in game terms to get from the airport back to the construction site, but it can be done. So the challenge was just like, I thought, well, if like it's at the airport, can't I just do it at the airport? Why have I got to bother with a boat? And that's what really confused me. I mean, to be honest, the mission should have been this: driving to the airport, not using a boat. I've no idea what I was supposed to do, but I finally figured it out. So I thought, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm not going to mess about getting a boat. Look, it doesn't make any difference anyway. It says get to the runway marker, boys. So I presume it wants you to go here anyway. I presume it wants you to use a boat and get to the airport. But there's no security here. The cartel are just over there. They won't bother you as long as you don't go near them. They won't even bother me now. I could shoot these guys out and they won't do a damn thing. So the hardest thing about this mission is just getting away and just getting back to the construction site, really. So you can literally just shoot them if you want to, or there you go. And his friend does nothing, so don't bother with them and they won't bother with you. I think the idea that they're there is you're supposed to take them out and you're supposed to use their car, but I'm not going to do that. I've got my Yakuza Stinger and I'm going to get through most of my escape with it. I think it does kind of bite the bullet. As you can see, the time is ticking down now, and you're probably thinking, well, shouldn't I be concentrating on the plane? Well, absolutely, I'm going to do that now, because as soon as it gets to 0, the plane comes into view. So you're going to get the rocket launcher out, and we're going to wait for the plane, basically. And we got just over 10 seconds now. Now, as soon as it comes, you need to shoot it. You need to get out the way, because you could take damage from the explosion. That's something we need to avoid. So it's going to come now. So I'm just going to shoot it and get out the way, and there you go, boom. So I presume you're not supposed to shoot from the boat. You're supposed to go to the airport by boat, but why would you want to do that? Why not just use the car? That's what confused me about this mission. I'm like, it makes no sense to go by boat, to be honest. It's a bit ridiculous. They could have just said go to the airport, you know, because it makes no difference. There we go. Right, so now we just need to stash the spank back at the construction site. Problem is though, I've got the police on my back. I've got 4-star rating now, and yeah, it's really tricky. The police are relentless. They will not leave you alone now. They want you, and they want you badly, and they will do anything to kind of keep you. That's just the way that it is. So you need to escape basically, and they are following me. So I get really lost at this point. I try and find that, try and use that as kind of my anchor point, but I end up going the wrong way. Oh, excuse me guys. Anyway, trying to find my way out. This place is a real problem, particularly when the adrenaline's flowing. As I said, it took me hours to do this mission. Most of it was like trying to get away from the cops, because they just knock you around like a silly rag doll, and I couldn't figure out which way I was supposed to go. I finally got a bit of luck here, and I realised that this was the entrance. This was where I come in, so I used that one archway, or that sort of temporary stairs, as kind of my anchor point to know where I was going. As you can see, I just zipped by the cops coming in now, and then I just need to hang a right here, and that will take me back to Staunton Island. Yeah, how I don't take damage here is unbelievable. Why my car doesn't blow up. I think it was the fact that I managed to get back to Staunton before my car blows up. That's what made the difference in this mission. And you will see that I kind of do it just by the skin of my teeth as well. That's how difficult the missions get at this point. You know, so it's just one of those games. And so I'm really itching to do some Liberty City stories, definitely. Can't wait to do that. Oh god, the car in the way there. To take my time here. So yeah, I barely make it. Look at that, the cops just, oh, I suppose I could have gone to the paint spray, but I wasn't really thinking. All I could think of was just to get away from them. I thought, I'm so near the construction site now. Look at that, they just run me down. They don't care. They're just like, oh, it's like, oh my god, it's hard to adapt to sometimes. And it's like, you have to get lucky, because sometimes when the police are all over the street, sometimes the cars, no cars spawn whatsoever, so you've got to kind of run away for the cars to spawn again so you can escape. Oh my god, as you can see, you've got police barriers here. I'm really struggling at this point. All I know is I've got to get to that construction site, but they are spinning me around like a friggin' record, baby. It's ridiculous. All I can think of is construction site, construction site, construction site, and I'm so close as well. So this is what I decide to do, guys. I figure I'm so close, I'm going to run for it, I'm going to leg it. And I should just make it. I'm almost there. So you can see I'm like this little beacon of hope, and I'm like trying to get there, and the police are after me. But check it out, I just run all the way to the construction site and all the way to the final beaker marker. Oh yeah, take that you game. How'd you like that? I'm running to the target. There you go, and just get into the blue marker. And this sets up the final mission, ransom. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about that. I've already done that. I will have already done that. Earned the money. I basically just got in a taxi and I ferried people around for ages and ages. It took me hours to earn the money. I must have earned about 600 grand, but to have it wasted really annoyed me, because it took me, you know, it's quite an effort to earn that amount of money. Yeah, so in many ways I think 500 grand earns me a friggin' tank. You know, the stuff this game's put me through. So I just pop to the save room here, because I don't want to do S.A.M again. That mission was like, that took me a long time to do. That was like the hardest thing, as I said, was escaping or like figuring out where the runway was. There were times when I'd get the runway wrong. I'd think I was on the right runway, but I was on the wrong one. So yeah, it's a confusing mission. I was like, why go by boat? It's just ridiculous. Just, you know, there's no security on the way in. The cartel don't bother with you. I'm just like, that's really strange. Really, really strange. Oh god, just avoid that. So yeah, I'm going to go to ammunition, I think, and just buy some weapons. See, this is where I think I need loads of weapons. Yeah, I've already paid the ransom, so I think, oh, I'll just buy all these weapons. This is kind of the point for me, where I think, oh, there's obviously, yeah, now I know it kind of, it's the final mission. I need loads and loads of weapons. I need guns. I need to be as stocked up as I can. But it's all for nothing, really. It's like, it's a waste of time. So for the game to do that to me, it's kind of, I just don't agree with it, to be honest. It's just a few instances where I just could have done without it, to be honest. Just let me play the game, let me have my resources, and let me do the mission. That's all I ask, really, of any game. Yeah, I'm sure there are skilled GTA 3 players out there who can do the mission no problem, but me, it's like I'm kind of a beginner, so don't really know what I'm doing half the time.